Head over to Miniature Market where they have thousands of board games and discounted prices, and click the direct link below for Disney Lorcana or any other game. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're diving into lore and arcana. When you put those two together, you have Disney's Lorcana. Today, I'm going to be doing a rule school where I'll teach you how to set up and play the game so that you don't have to do so yourself. This is not a review. If you want to see my thoughts about this, you can click the little eye up there in the corner, or there's a link below to my actual review where I have my final thoughts. But this is to help you get going and playing your first game. Without further ado, let's get started. In Disney Lorcana, you'll be using a starter deck versus someone else with a starter deck, and you can play the full game, or you can have booster packs that you'll open up and mix with your deck and construct your own decks. Over the course of the game, you're trying to gain lore, because the first person to get 20 lore is the winner. And you'll be gaining that lore by playing characters and then sending them on quests and getting a certain amount of lore depending on that character. But you have to be careful because when you exert your character, it leaves them susceptible to the other player to then challenge them, being able to possibly banish them out of the game. You'll also be playing items which give you special abilities like removing damage from characters, or playing action cards which give you a one-time use like cycling through some cards. The trick of it all is you have to spend ink in order to play these cards, and over the course of the game, you're deciding which cards that you're going to be using only for ink for the rest of the game and not using their abilities. Tough decisions. So let's see if you have what it takes to be the first to 20 lore. I'm going to teach you how to get started with playing with just the starter decks. Each player is going to get a starter deck and they're going to place their playmat in front of them and place their lore counter at 0. Then you'll shuffle your deck and place it face down on the draw deck. Then you'll draw 7 cards into your hand. And you want to keep the cards in your hand hidden from other players. Now once you're experienced, you can discard any amount of these cards in your first draw only, put them in the bottom of your deck, and then you can draw back up so you have 7 cards, then reshuffle your deck. That's for experienced players if they know they don't have the cards they want to really start with. Now the start player is going to go first, and then you go in clockwise order. Normally you'll go through a beginning phase and then a main phase. For the first play of the first player each game, they jump right into the main phase, so let's go over that first. Now you'll often be playing cards on your turn, and cards have a cost. You see the cost in the upper left-hand corner. That's how much ink it costs in order to play those cards. Now you'll notice some of the cards have this ring around it. This is known as an Inkwell. Some of them have it, but like this one does not, and this one does not. If a card has this, you can, once per turn, add a card to your Inkwell by placing it face down. For example, I've selected this card. You show it to your opponent so they can see the card and make sure it has the Inkwell icon. Then you'll place it face down to the right of your Inkwell section. Again, this is the only action that you can only do once per turn. This is building up your ink that you're going to use this round and in future rounds to be able to play other cards. Think of it as a form of currency. Now keep in mind, during this main phase, you have a lot of options and you can do any of them in any order, and all except the one I just showed you, you can do as many times as you can afford it. For example, maybe I want to play a card as a character. So this one here is Captain Hook. It costs 1 ink. And that's all I have right now, because remember, you can only add 1 of these per turn. So I'm going to exert this to say that I'm using that ink. And so I'll play it here where it says cards in play to the right. It costs 1. We exerted 1. Now the characters always come in straight up and down like this. But you cannot activate this character or do anything with it the round that you place it in play. And on your first turn, that might be all you're able to do. So let's say the other player went, we're playing a 2-player game, and it came back to us. At the beginning of your turn, during the beginning phase, you're always going to ready any exerted cards that you have anywhere. Then you're going to draw 1 card off the top of your deck into your hand. Then you're back to the main phase. That is what we were just talking about. So let's say it was a little bit in the future. Let's say we had 3 inks in our Inkwell. Remember, you can only place 1 of these per turn. And let's say we wanted to play Jasmine. She costs 3. We would exert these 3 ink to play Jasmine. Now remember, she can't do anything the turn that she's there. So let's pretend it came back to us again, and it's our next turn during the main phase. Now, characters have some options. Some of them have some abilities that can trigger, but all of them you can go on quests, and you'll see these little lore icons here. So I can exert this character, assuming that I didn't play it this round, and if I want to, one of the options is to go on a quest. This is going to get me 2 lore. And so we'll go right up to 2 there. Remember, the first to 20 wins. Now let's pretend it looked like this. She went on a quest on a previous turn, right before us, the player across from us, this is their card, they had exerted this character and also got 2 lore. When a character is exerted, you're opening yourself up to possibly being challenged, because one thing you do with the character is, if it was not played this round, and it is straight up and down, meaning it's not already exerted, instead of going on a quest, you can challenge. But you can only challenge an exerted character from another player. So here we're going to challenge. So in order to challenge, we will exert this character and we will challenge an exerted character from another player. Now, this is your strength and that is your willpower. That's that player's strength and that's their willpower. So normally what you do is you would exert this and this would do 1 damage because they have 1 strength to this one there. So you'd place this on like this, and normally this would do 2 damage to this. Now this has 2 willpower, this is 2 strength. This has basically the amount of damage equal to their willpower, so they would be banished. This would go into your discard pile. However, I want to show you that some of these have abilities. Like this one says, if you're the challenger, you get +2. So in this case, this one has 1 + 2, it has 3 when it challenges, and this one had 3 for its willpower, so both of these cards are going to be getting banished. Sometimes that's better because they in a future round would have been able to get 2 lore, I would have only been able to get 1. Maybe it's a good trade to get both of these cards gone. However, if it was Aladdin they were challenging, they had the 1 + the 2, which is 3. They gave them 3 damage. This one had 5 strength, much more than this, so this is getting banished. This is showing that it has -3, so they have 5 - 3. They basically have 2 left. So in the next round, again at the beginning of the round, you're going to ready all your cards. This player is going to be able to ready this character. Even though they're somewhat damaged, this stays from round to round. Also keep in mind that some characters have ongoing abilities, like during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 1 lore, so you want to keep track of those as well. Now remember, you can do as many of these things as you want to on your turn, except Inkwell, you can only add 1 of those per turn. Here, if I was able to spend 2 ink to get this is an item. An item you can use right when you put them in play, and they have abilities, like whenever you play a character, you may remove up to 2 damage from a chosen character from now on. So, an ongoing ability, if you will. Maybe I still had another ink that I could exert to play this action. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and the other in the bottom of the deck. Actions, once you use them, they're one-time use, and then these go into your discard pile on your playmat. Another card type is a song. It's also an action, which is a one-time use. Normally would cost me 2 ink. However, if it's a song, a character with a cost of 2 or more can exert to sing this song for free. So I played this, we could exert this character who has 2 or more, and I don't have to pay this 2 ink, and now I get to put the top card of your deck into your Inkwell face down and exert it, and then since this was an action, it would go back to your discard pile. Now remember, the first 1 in 20 lore wins immediately. In the rare case that someone runs out of cards in their deck, when they have to draw one and there isn't one there to draw, the other player would win. And in summary, in your beginning phase, you're going to ready all your cards. You're going to have any start turn effects that may happen on your cards, then you draw a card. Main phase, you're going to do any of these as many times as you want, as much as you want, except the play 1 card from your hand face down into your Inkwell. That's pretty much it. First 1 in 20 wins. Well, I hope this helped you dive right into Disney Lorcana faster than you would if you had to read the rulebook yourself. If you have more questions important, use the link in the description below because that's the best place to ask them because many of the forum users and the designer and the publisher will also help answer your questions. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table into a high-quality gaming solution, but they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with over 20 styles of thematic game mats in 11 different sizes from notable board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and real cool accessories, experience what thousands of other gamers enjoy by upgrading every game you play with a Game Topper system. Save hundreds of dollars on Game Topper package deals that are in stock now for immediate shipping at GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.